Hi there everybody, and welcome to another video. On today's video I have this wing mirror that belongs to a Mercedes B-Class, the W246, and this particular wing mirror is fitted to many Mercedes models, W204, A-Class, B-Class, C-Class, S-Class. So you will find this particular mirror, the shape of it, in many Mercedes models. The only difference would be this area here. So this particular section fits the B-Class. The other ones may have a slightly different design on this area, and also you will find that there's different types of well, some of these will be electric folding, and like this one, this is not electric folding. So for example, this only has one wire, but yours may have two cables. These cables connect to the control unit inside of the door panel, where the door where you have to remove the door card. If you wanted to remove this like I did, you have to remove the door card and then disconnect these two, and then there will be 3 Torx screws on the other side of the door, which is screwed onto here, and you remove those Torx and this just comes out and this follows. And the reason I remove this is because you may see that is broken, the cover is smashed up, and the whole thing, it's sort of breaking apart, and here as well is broken. So ultimately I've got a new one and I already fitted it. So on today's video I'm actually going to dismantle this one and just show you how you could dismantle it. If you needed to replace something like the indicator here, or if you needed to change just the cover or this bottom cover. Some of these bottom covers as well, they come with a little light here, so some of these will have a connection, a cable connection to it, to the light, and this particular one doesn't have it. And as I mentioned, this is not an electric one, this is a manual folding mirror, and also it's a little bit broken here. So it's just that somebody hit the mirror and it broke. So the only part that actually survived quite well is the indicator bit, which is the bit I'm going to keep for my other car. So that's the other purpose or reason I'm actually removing or dismantling this, because the rest is just gonna have to go to the recycle bin because I don't really need it. So anyway, if you needed to replace something here, if you had to replace the cover or the bottom cover or the indicator, we need to start by removing the mirror. Now this particular one is cracked everywhere, so obviously I'm not too bothered about how it's going to come out, but if yours is not cracked, obviously you want to be careful. I've got some plastic prying tools here, not the best ones. I was going to use just my flathead screwdriver, but this is a metal screwdriver. But if you are trying to save from damaging your cover here, for example, even if you're just trying to replace the mirror, you don't want to damage your cover, so you don't want to be using metal prying tools. You better off using something like this. So anyway, this particular mirror, so it might be a little bit more harder for me to remove it because this is a little bit out of shape, but nevertheless, normally what I would do is I would push it down here, so it sort of, even though it's electrically, you could use your electric switch to fold it down, so it's as down as possible where you can get your finger or a few of your fingers here, because if your mirror is actually intact, then if you only pull it from one corner, you may crack it. So bear in mind, you may still crack your mirror if you're trying to do this it's just a bit of luck sometimes, but if you get your fingers in there, you need to pull on this mirror. So I'm trying to get my fingers all the way in there so I can get this mirror unplugged, and it literally unplugs from there, but it is a little bit hard. And also I'm a little bit scared because the mirror is cracked, so I don't want to cut my fingers. Right, okay, so that's unplugged from there, but because this is a little bit out of shape here, my mirror is getting stuck down here, so this shouldn't really happen to yours. Right, anyway, let's get this one out. As carefully as possible. Okay, there's the mirror. And it's got two wires, because this also is a heated mirror. It's got two wires there that you want to undo. For that, yes, you may use a metal screwdriver or something, because these sometimes are so hard to take out that you may want to use something like a screwdriver like I just did. And let's close up a little bit on that. But these are the two connections there. Right, so that is out. I'm gonna dispose of that mirror, and some of that mirror is on my table here because it's just crumbling. But anyway, let's get this out of the way. Okay, so once you have the mirror out of the way, we can proceed to remove the bottom part of the mirror here. And you do have to remove two 10mm Torx screws. One is just sitting there, and the other one is just sitting here. So you'll be able to see them. And mine are already a little bit undone. So just go ahead and remove them. And once you remove those two, you'll then be able to start prying this plastic cover here down. So it's literally plugged in. There's nothing specifically holding it in, but it is clipped onto the this part and inside. So if you use again, try to use plastic prying tools. Try to use plastic prying tools in order to avoid damaging your cover if that's what you're trying to save here. So maybe we can start from the inside bit. If you use a screwdriver or something, or even from down here, or it depends where you want to pry this down from, but wherever you get a little bit of access to do so. Here is a little plastic clip as well. Want to release that clip, and then maybe that might help you actually open this a little bit better. Right, okay, that's coming out. So since mine is broken anyway, let me show you. You have a few clips like this one's here. This one, I think that might be some sort of clip, but the screws actually go into these holes here, one there and one just behind that clip. I think there should be another clip here, but it's broken, and this section is broken, and then there's another little clip here. So all of that clips onto this section here. And again, once you got that out, this part also is sort of clipped down. So we should be able to remove it. It might be just a few clips here as well. That we need to open. So I can see one just behind here. Right, let me have a look here. All that area is a little bit loose on mine because it's anyways a bit broken, but there is one clip here that is holding the unit in, which I am trying to get to release it so I can show you. Right, let me try and actually that's out. So normally it does come out a little bit easier. It's just that, again, as mine is a little bit dislocated, some bits are sort of twisted. But nevertheless, you have this clip here. So if you press the center while pulling this up, and then there is a little clip at the back there, this one, and this one here. These are tiny little clips. Literally you can just get your screwdriver or your plastic tool and pry it open a little bit, and it will disconnect from the edge of this, and this comes up like so. And so here is the here is the mirror. This is the electric motor that moves your mirror left, right, up, down. This little thing is the connects to your indicator, the mirror indicator. And if there was a motor on this one for electric folding, this would be a motor. In this case, this is like a spring loaded, so that sort of going manually, but This one is actually been damaged, so that's why I can't quite move it. Maybe if it was on the car I could force it in, but in this case it's a bit difficult. So that is that. And if you wanted to remove that as well, there are 3 Torx screws that you can get into through these holes. 1, 2, 3. You get into these holes and then you remove this motor, which again has got its wires down here. But if you're gonna remove or change that, then it's a bit more complicated because you have the wires connected to it. Although you can unplug it from here. Having said that, there is a plug here, so you can also change this motor. Actually, you just unplug it from there and then you put the new one in and plug it in. So no need to change the wire. Just noticed that, actually. Should have remembered that. Pretty sure I've done a few. And the last but not least is the actual indicator here. The indicator in there has, again, these little screws. That screw there is a little bit smaller. Even it's not even a T10. It's more like a T5 or something. A little bit smaller than the other ones. So I'm using a really tiny Torx here, so we can remove this. The only thing about these indicators that usually they are glued in there, so it is a little bit hard to take them out, but it's not impossible because I have replaced them before. And you also need to disconnect the wire connection in there, which again is not a problem. That comes out. It's sort of holding in by 2 little clips on the sides here. So we have sort of 1 clip there and another one there. And again, you want to be careful not to break those clips, because if you are replacing just the indicator, you need the clips to hold your new light. Right, there we are. And that cable just hooks around here, but that's okay. That should come out with this. Now let's try to remove that. So that in there again plugs in. There's the clips on here and another one there. Plugs in there, but it's also a little bit stuck in there, so we may have to pry it open a little bit. So I may use my plastic prying tool a little bit here, so I can push this clip as well. Okay, there we are. And now this thing kind of moves a little bit back in order to come out, but again it is a little bit glued in there, so that's the bit there that is glued into the light. And the new one will come with some of that new stuff, I think, as far as I remember. It's just double-sided sticky tape, basically. Right, that's it there. Actually, I just noticed that comes out together, so you probably don't have to remove it really. I do remember that when you get it new, I don't think this wire comes plugged in, but I'm not sure. It might do. And actually, maybe we can see the part number for this just there. The part number is A2129067-301. And this is the driver's side, by the way. This mirror is the driver's side. This part here, can't see anything there. Let's see if we can have a part number on this one. I think there is a part number just there, but I can't quite make out what it is actually. Well, never mind. These covers are very popular. And another thing, you can actually find this very cheap on the internet. However, I bought one that is really cheap, replaced it on my S-Class, and it's already got some water inside. So whether you can buy the cheap one and reseal it is a question, because it looks like they don't come sealed properly, the cheap ones, and it's lasted maybe a couple of years, fair enough, but it's not long enough either, so which means I have to buy another one. But these are, I think these are quite expensive, so it's one of those things. What do you do? Maybe you can reseal the cheap one. It just needs to add a little bit more glue around this glass here, so it doesn't get steam up in there. So anyway, I'm gonna save that one for another car, as that one is in good condition and is working. And so you can actually buy all these parts separately. You can buy that, you can buy the cover, you can buy this, you can buy the motor, but you can't buy the folding motor. The folding motor is the one thing you can't buy. So in that case, you have to buy the whole unit. So anyway, having said that, have a glass of wine. It's time to relax, and don't forget what they say: a glass of wine a day may be a sign that you're alcohol dependent. No, just kidding. This is the first glass I'm having today after the whole week, because I had a cold, really bad cold, which I'm still kind of getting out of it, but I just fancied a little bit of that. Anyway, enough of that. So I hope the video helps, and don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions or I can help with anything, do let me know and I will try to help you. So by all means, as I said, don't forget to subscribe and give me a like if you think the video will helps you. So thank you for watching.